Hey guys, this is Keegan here from Keegan Universe. Welcome to today's episode. In today's episode, it is about how to perfectly use the law. If you like more of Law of Attraction Neville Goddard content, please do hit subscribe, like, hit the bell icon for more content. I appreciate you, and I really hope that you like and share this information. Let's get started. This is from someone's Reddit. How to perfectly use the law. Hi all, sorry for the absence on a far too late post. I've been traveling to Europe since I wrote my last post and have had a difficult time sitting down and writing an adequate post. With the ever-growing effects of COVID-19, unfortunately, creating this post has been back of my mind. As I have solidified housing and living conditions here in Greece, I'm able to come back on Reddit and assist everyone here in a way that you all deserve, especially for those who have followed me for so many years and patiently awaited for my return. For all those who have been angered or annoyed by my late return, I truly apologize and wish this is a future post to make up for my absence. To begin, I'd like to make one thing clear. I have never used anything but Neville's technique in the realization of this earthly desire. More specifically, I have only used the technique sensory vividness and an enactment of the scenes. Unfortunately, by beginning my post with that, I fear that I will turn away many people and have either tried this technique or failed and believe that they do not contain the ability to visualize in a way that Neville teaches. Because of this restriction, I'd like to make a few things clear. I don't believe in overcomplication of concepts the subreddit and some members of the subreddits have created over the past few years. If you were here when I originally began posting in late 2017, you, like myself, noticed a stark difference in the terms and techniques people peddle here. It may work for a few, but I believe that the simple technique that Neville taught worked for all. Number 2, some questions now of how this process works or what is necessary to gain the results. I'll tell you exactly what and how results are achieved. And it's how painful simple, total self-persuasion. You must completely believe that you have what you desire, and that is reality now. Many people will look at this as prerequisites to attaining the earthly desire that is the largest obstacle known to mankind. But I like to soothe the worries. I've said this before, but I'll give it to a greater emphasis now. Self-persuasion is the gift of God if you do the technique. Number 3, sin. Sin is defined as not attaining your goals, not being able to be a man or woman you want to be. The only way you could ever sin is if you do not believe you are the person you want to be right now. Number 4, I don't believe in any other techniques or interpretation of Neville's technique other than the one I outlined in this post. That's for one simple reason. I truly believe that the majority of people you are not being able to complete the one requirement, self-persuasion, which these techniques and other techniques being it's saying that phrase to yourself as you fall asleep or thinking about the person you want to be in a few moments during the day. This may have worked for Neville or a few people in this case, history, but that is only because they have years and years, in many cases decades, of success with the law. That what they have unwavering faith in their persuasiveness of power. Number 5, I'm only going to tell you what has worked for me, and if you have another technique that works for you, congrats. But for most people, this is the original technique that Neville shared, is this one, and I believe the majority of people will find success with. It has never taken longer than 2 weeks from starting the technique for a certain goal for me to see the start of harvest, and no longer than 1 month. Total to see the full realization of a goal. I have had countless times where it take less than 12 hours to see the full realization of a goal, of which the majority of the time is the time that I slept. Number 7. It may sound counterintuitive, but stop reading Neville. Listening to Neville or visiting the subreddit after you read the post, I fear that many believe that being a hearer of the law in an attempt to find some magic and/all technique and never actually practice the law. Like Neville has said countless times, actual practice benefits you far more than hearing ever will. Yes, the law is as simple as it seems. Don't overcomplicate it. Now, on to the simple and perfect technique. Number 1, know exactly what you want. Not a general idea, but something specific and exact that perfectly reflects your true desire. If you want your dream body, know that what it will look like. If you want a certain sum of money, know how much down to the dollar. If you want a partner, know who you want. If you want a certain job, know exactly what you would do and where you would work, etc. Ask yourself what you would be feeling if you were, and who you want to be right now. By feeling, I'm emphasizing this, feeling, it is meant an innate level of awareness. Where would your mind be if you were the person you wanted to be? How would you think in a relationship to the world in your new state? Number 3, create a scene that would imply that you have already achieved your goals and that it is in the past, something that you can add sensory vividness and the tones of reality to. Number 4, get ready for bed before the time you usually become sleepy and get ready to induce the sleepy state. Lie in bed and calm yourself. Many years ago, I suggest that you put your hands underneath your butt to focus on something to induce the state. But practice has taught me that, personally, I can get into a drowsy state best by lying down in a fetal position. If you have not been successful in using this technique, I suggest you putting yourself in a position where you do not usually fall asleep. For example, if you usually fall asleep by sleeping on your left side, lie on your back and vice versa. Number 5, as you induce the sleepy state, you'll notice a floating feeling, no one that is both physical and mental. Keep your mind clear, but do not become so drowsy that you fall asleep. Something that I've noticed while applying this law throughout the years is that I feel that I can just imagine random things to get into a drowsy state to begin my scene. This is a trap, and more than likely not. You do this every night, and it is a habit of yours. For me, whenever I do this, I fall asleep before I can even think to begin my scene. Do not become distracted. Calm yourself with the intent of doing your scene, and do not let your mind wander on other things. Number 6, begin enacting your scene, and begin enacting it in the first person. While it will not be as vivid as the room you are now, it does not matter. Yes, you heard me right. Your scene does not need to become as vivid as the life you are living right now, becoming a reality. Continue enacting your scene and focus. Focus on a new detail each time you loop it. If you cannot add tones of your reality and sensory vividness in the beginning, use a trick I've used in the past. Tell yourself what you're seeing is real. Narrate what is in front of you and what you are touching, and feel that it is true and real. There's no way I can explain the feeling other than pretending that you already are imagining it right now. That is, just try it, Don't simply worry about it. If you're applying it right, just imagine that it is true. Just think that you are seeing what you want to see. Keep yourself in the scene and do not worry about anything else. By the way, that's number 7. Remain faithful. Remain faithful to the scene by repeating it over and over again. Soon, you will actually feel as though you are in the place of the imagination. Eventually, you will fall asleep in that state, and if you worry about not being able to fall asleep, think about how alert you are. You will stay alert and unable to fall asleep. So focus on the scene and making it as real as possible. If you kept the scene, number 8, if you kept the scene repeating and legitimately tried adding as much sensory vividness as possible, you should wake up with the feeling that it is done. This is a gift from God I was speaking about earlier. If you do not have this feeling, imagine that you do, and continue the process the next night. Experience has taught me, however, if you are legitimately trying the technique to the best of your abilities, you will wake up with this feeling of desire already existing. This is the technique that I employ, and as of late, I have never woken up without the feeling that it is done. The most important thing to do is to try. Emphasize, try. Continually try and try to do the best that you can. Don't worry about reading Neville during the day in the fear that you have missed something. Just do the technique all at night and be amazed how quickly your world changes. As always, please give me questions down below and let me know any answers or anything that you ever want me to touch base on. Again, thank you so much. Best wishes to you all. So that was a great reading from someone off of Reddit, and I just wanted to give that big shout out to that individual, Orion. So I do have to believe that there is definitely a technique to go about in this whole situation. So one may think, oh, there's a certain perfect technique Number 1, know exactly what you want. Number 2, ask yourself, what would you be feeling if you were already there right now? Number 3, create the scene and imply that you've already achieved it. Number 4, get ready for bed before the time and you usually become sleepy, and get ready to induce yourself in that sleepy state. Number 5, as soon as you induce the sleepy state, you'll notice a floating feeling, one that is both physical and mental. All right. Number 6, begin enacting your scene and begin enacting it in first person. Okay. Number 7, keep yourself in the scene and do not worry about anything else. And number 8, if you kept the scene repeating, legitimately tried as adding as much sensory vividness as possible, you should wake up with a feeling that it is done. It is done, ladies and gentlemen. That is a gift of God, and I have to say that this is a wonderful, wonderful reading. I'm so glad to be able to share this with you guys. If you guys have a comment or anything you want to leave in this information, add on to this, please do leave a comment below on this YouTube video, and please do feel free to share. And I'll be making more of this kind of content. I do love a lot of how Neville Goddard talks about imagination creating reality, and that you too are one with the possibility, as you are given a gift and the connection with God, and you will always be one with God. And know that that is the gift from God, and knowing that anything is truly possible. And that's why I believe and always continue on to talk about Neville Goddard's work, and I really have always been interested in it. And ever since then, I do believe more and more that the more I learned about the law of attraction, the more I got into the deeper state about learning more about not just the law of attraction, but learning more about even a lot of other teachers such as Florence Scovel and Neville Goddard. And it's just so interesting how they can all teach some things that are more or less very similar, in the sense that feeling really truly is the secret. So once again, thank you guys so much. This is Keegan here from Keegan Universe. Thank you so much. Take care.